How you doing, YouTube? Matt with That's the Beer Reviews. Back to get another review. New brewery time. Never had these guys on before. So here we go. We have a little bit of Belgian quaddiness. White wine barrels in the form of Jughandle Brewing's 4-Way Stop. Yeah, well, first things first, Jughandle. I've heard of them. I had a couple tastes of their beers here and there. Never had anything on its own. By on its own, I mean me sitting here drinking it and thinking about it. So we have that. Jersey Brewery, 4-Way Stop. If you don't know, now you know. And yeah, been wanting to try some of their stuff. And I was kind of tooling around the new habitat where I'm going to be living, and stopped at a bottle shop. They had this there, and I'm like, Belgian quad, check. Barely check. White wine barrel could really be check. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Wine works different for me. Beers, it really depends on what kind of white wine. So I'm kind of intrigued. So yeah, here we go. As far as what it says on here, it says Jughandle Brewing Company, 4-Way Stop, aged in white wine barrels. They do a bunch of the 4-Way Stop in different barrels. So keep that in mind. This is a Belgian style quad ale, bottle conditions. It's 12% alcohol by volume, and that's that. No story time. This is bottled on December 28, 2017, so it's a couple months old. This is the beginning of February, middle of February 2018, and they're Tinton Falls, New Jersey, kind of close to the shore, not super on the shore, but yeah. So here we go. I don't have my regular opener with me, so I have to have this chainsaw thing. Look at that. Swiss Army knife. You want to open some shit? You get yourself a Swiss Army knife. Ooh, it's like a gummy wax too. Let's see how this works. I actually like this wax. It kind of reminds me of like Demolin style wax. So give that a good saw there. See if I can get underneath this sucker. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together, man. I need a scar hanging in my mouth, BA brackets floating around somewhere. Label-wise, I fucking love it, actually. It's ghetto as hell. You know, there's the lettering on a really nice textured paper label. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for labels. What can I say? So yeah, what do we have here? First off, is it a quad? It's lighter than where I want it to be quad-wise. It has a nice murk to it, but it's a bit more bright orange than where I want it to be. The head, just off white. A little bit, you know, definitely lighter than where I want it to be for a quad. Bit of rockiness on top. A little bit of soft carbonation on the edges. So, does she look like a quad? Sure. We'll allow it. Council. Let's see if we can get a nose on her. Not much there. Not much there. It's very subtle. I am getting quad vibes, though. Getting a bit of little bit of Belgian candy sugar in there. Getting a little plumminess. Getting a little bit of red fruitiness. Definitely getting a wood component in there. Nothing too crazy. I'm getting a ton of wine. I'm getting a sweet white wine out of here. I'm not getting a very kind of dry, drying kind of non-sweet white wine. Yeah, she smells really good. She does. It doesn't smell exactly like a quad, but it smells exactly like it's a big, huge barrel component of a white wine either. Not necessarily bad things. It just smells very inviting in the nose. Let's put it that way. Not as tart as I thought it would be. Not as dry as I thought it would be based off the white wine barrel. Let's dive in. Cheers. That's delicious. That's a good beer. That's a good beer. That's a good beer. There's, is it a quad? Yeah, it is. It has more like winter warmer qualities to it for me. There's this like spice to it. I'm getting like a, I don't know. Like a big like cardamom thing or something like that. Like something like that going on in it. That makes me want to say more winter warmer than quad. But I'm getting a nice kind of sweetness. I'm getting like plums galore. I'm getting not so rich dark fruits, but I'm getting dark fruits. I'm getting a nice kind of Belgian candied sugar component out of it. Getting really nice carbonation out of it. So kudos to that for a fucking quad and barrel aged and getting the carbonation where it should be. And it has a nice mouthfeel to it. It has that kind of density, that kind of just not super denseness, but that kind of what I like to call the classic doo-doo water kind of level of carbonation and density to it that kind of makes it kind of be a quad. Let a quad be a quad, baby. The white wine barrel is so well balanced on the beer. Like, put it this way, the quad I think is well done. Is it the best quad I've ever had from an American-born brewer? Not even close. Is it better than a lot of quads that American brewers have done? Yeah, way better. There's some ones that have really knocked that out of the park with that Belgian soul I've talked about in the past. And this is really well done. I would put it in that second, just eking into that second tier. And that's not a negative. I mean, the ones I'm saying knock it out of the park, get it like perfectly right. This is very, very close. Now, take that and put it and barrel age it perfectly in a white wine barrel. Yeah, this is one of the better barrel aged Belgian inspired beers I've had in a while. It's absolutely fantastic. The white wine's definitely not super dry, super kind of tart kind of white wine. There's a bit of sweetness to it, so it kind of lends itself to kind of marry a bit better with the quad. That's where my hesitation was at when I first was like, okay, it may work, it may not work. I think if you went with a like really dry, really kind of tart white wine, it would just counterbalance too much to where it would just kind of throw it off. It'd be too kind of herky-jerky. It just kind of brings this added kind of tart sweetness. There you go. Juxtaposition. Kind of tart sweetness to it, and this kind of bright vinous character to something that is inherently kind of murky and dark. And just kind of throws it on its head. It makes more sense because of its color now. It's like almost like you're aging it in a white wine barrel and it lightened up the beer a bit. And that's not a bad thing. I think this is probably one of the better barrel-aged beers I've had in general as of late. Not just, you know what I mean, from a small brewer. It's a small brewer. It's a tiny little brewery in Jersey. I haven't even been to the brewery. I've had a couple of their beers. I think 1 or 2 of their beers on in like bottles or cans, or maybe a crowler or something like that, or growler. Not a crowler. They don't have crowlers, I don't believe. And I think I had it on draft. I definitely had it on draft once. And going into this, I did not expect this. This is not what I expected from the brewery, and that's a beautiful fucking thing. Yeah. It's just beautiful. It's not the, like I said, it's not the world's definition of a perfect quad. You're some St. Bernardus of the world. You're West Wiedelins of the world. You're kind of those kind of what are the staple of being an American or a Belgian quad. But it gets it right enough to where it's delicious as a beer in itself. And then it takes it another level and just makes it a beautiful kind of marriage of the barrel they put it in. I don't know about any of the other variants that they did with this white wine barrel, and it's fucking delicious. Now here's the thing, they do the 4-way stop. I don't know if the 4-way stop beer rotates either. I know the barrel rotates, but I don't know if the actual style of beer rotates either. It could. I didn't look into it much. I just randomly, before I did this, I actually seen something of theirs on Instagram and it said 4-way stop and like some other kind of barrel, and I was like, okay, they do rotational stuff on it. So I don't even know if the beer changes. But this is by far and away one of the tastier, one of the more exciting, and one of the more, what's the word I'm looking for? Out of nowhere beers that I've had. Like I said, I was out and about at a local bottle shop and I just stumbled across it. And I said, man, I just got to get it. Because it was like $9 or $10. You know, it's a little 500 milliliter bottle, nothing too crazy. But I was like, a barrel aged offering from a place in Jersey, I just got to pick it up. I just got to try it. And I'm really pissed that I didn't buy the rest of them. Let's put it that way. Fantastic fucking beer. This is delicious. Absolutely fucking delicious. Man. I don't know what to say. Just good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's recap real quick. vibrant. The quad shows beautifully. Not the best quad ever made by an American brewer, but pretty damn good stuff. Married absolutely beautifully with a non-overly tart, non-overly drying kind of white wine barrel, to where it just kind of the quad makes the white wine barrel sing, and the barrel makes the quad that much better. It's symbiotic. They help each other out in a beautiful way. Mouthfeel's fantastic. Drinks like a dream. Fantastic beer. One of the best beers I've had out of Jersey this year and last year. Let's put it that way. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better barrel-aged Belgian style ales that I've had? Is like, yes. Value and availability. It was like $9-10 for 500 milliliter. And leave you with, if you like what, will you like this? Or availability is, I picked it up off a shelf, and if you like what, will you like this? If you like beer, if you like complex beer, if you like multi-layered beer, if you like balanced beer, if you like barrel-aged beers, and barrel-aged beers outside of your pastry stouts and all that kind of stuff. If you like quads, and if you like the barrel-aged quads, you're going to get it all here. This is a great beer. It's a great barrel-aged quad. It's a great wine barrel-aged beer. It checks off all the marks. So, yeah, Jughandle. Fuck yeah, motherfuckers. Shit is delicious. So if you like good beer, pick this up. This one specifically, and go visit the brewery, because if they're making stuff like this, obviously they have an idea what the hell they're doing. So, yeah, tasty shit. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff and things. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped. Massive Beers, all four of those places. If you want to check me out somewhere else, if you want to check me out in the podcasting realms, though, you got to go to beermassif.com, massif.com, or your podcasting app. Go there and check me out. Brewer interviews, opinion pieces, roundtables, all that stuff. There you go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a nice wine barrel aged quad right now, and hope we'll see you next time. Cheers.